Is it true that some country likes to eat poisonous mushrooms? Which country drinks the most coffee? And where one watermelon was once sold for $6,000? The answers may surprise you. Let's take a journey together from deadly dishes to outrageously expensive fruits. Italy didn't start eating tomatoes until the 16th century. Though today Italy is famous for its delicious tomato sauces, Italian chefs didn't start experimenting with the tomato until the 16th century, imported from the Americas starting in the early 1500s. Tomatoes were originally thought to be poisonous and were used solely as decorations. While some Italian chefs may have started experimenting with tomatoes as a food as early as the 1500s, tomato sauce didn't start to catch on in Italy until the late 17th century. India produces, consumes, and exports the most chili peppers in the world. Although chili peppers are not native to India, they were introduced to the country by the Portuguese in the 15th century. Indian consumers have fully embraced the spicy plant. Not only do Indians grow and eat more chili peppers than any other nation in the world, but they also grow some of the hottest peppers. The Bhut Jolokia pepper, also known as ghost chili, is grown in Assam, Nagaland, and Manipur, and is said to be 400 times hotter than the average hot sauce. How do you feel about spicy food? Cassava is the third most popular carbohydrate in the world. Cassava might not be the most popular dish in the United States, but after rice and wheat, the starchy root veggie is the third most important source of carbohydrates globally, a staple food in many African nations. Cassava, also known as manioc, tapioca, and yuca, can be eaten like a potato, ground into flour, or used to make the tapioca balls found in many puddings and teas. Japan, Scandinavia, and Namibia are just a few places that serve up potentially deadly cuisines. Many nations serve up delicacies that, if prepared incorrectly, can be deadly. In Japan, a puffer fish dinner can paralyze and asphyxiate diners when prepared wrong, while the brain mushroom, which is popular throughout Scandinavia, Eastern Europe, and the Great Lakes region of North America, can be fatal if eaten raw. In Namibia, meanwhile, the adult giant bullfrog is considered a delicious delicacy. But young giant bullfrogs, eaten before they reach maturity, carry a toxin that can cause kidney failure. 49% of America eats a sandwich every day. While the United States has plenty of culinary diversity, the sandwich may be the most popular dish nationwide. According to one 2014 study, on average, 49% of Americans over 20 eat one sandwich every day. But the sandwich wasn't always so beloved. During the Revolutionary War, many Americans avoided sandwiches, along with other foods of British origin. Though sandwiches were popular in England throughout the 18th century, the first sandwich recipe didn't appear in an American cookbook until 1815. Japan is home to some of the most expensive fruits. Japan isn't the only country that produces rare and expensive fruits, but it does seem to be home to some of the priciest. On separate occasions, fruit growers in Japan have auctioned off a single 17-pound Densuke watermelon for 650,000 yen, approximately $6,100, a bunch of ruby Roman grapes for $6,400, and a pair of Yubari King melons for a whopping $23,500. Turkey consumes the most tea per person, while China consumes more tea overall than any other country, at approximately 1.6 billion pounds a year. As of 2014, Turkey drank the most tea per capita, at a whopping 6,961 thousandths pounds per person per year. In that same report, Ireland and England came in second and third place respectively at a comparatively tiny 4 and 831 thousandths, and our and 281 thousandths pounds per person. And the Netherlands drinks the most coffee. People in the Netherlands take their daily caffeine fix seriously. At 2 4/10 cups per day per capita, they're the #1 coffee consumers in the world. Finland and Sweden are the second biggest coffee fanatics, at 1 8/10 and 1 3/10 cups per day. Surprisingly, the United States doesn't even make the top 10 when it comes to daily coffee consumption, at just 9/10 cups per day. According to a 2014 report, the United States is only the 16th biggest coffee-drinking nation in the world, right after New Zealand. Popcorn isn't the default movie, theater, snack everywhere. If you live in the United States, there's a good chance you think of popcorn and movies as a natural pairing. But popcorn isn't the default movie theater snack everywhere. In Colombia, dried ants are a popular popcorn alternative, while Korean moviegoers enjoy snacking on a bag of dried cuttlefish. Chinese cinephiles opt for dried salted plums. The eldest takes the first bite. In South Korea, when people assemble for a meal, they wait for the eldest person at the table to eat first, before the others join in. This is believed to be a great sign of respect for the elders. No hands policy. In Chile, people try to eat almost everything with a fork, spoon, and knife, even if the food involves items that can be enjoyed more with the hands like chicken drumsticks and wings. It is customary to use a fork and a knife. Here, people believe that food should never be eaten with one's hands. Don't ask for salt and pepper, please. In Egypt and Portugal, asking for salt and pepper is considered a great insult to the person who prepared the food. Now that you know the interesting food customs in different countries around the world, keep them in mind so that you don't offend the culture of a particular country. Write in the comments what fact or what national dish surprised you the most. See you soon!